Let's do it. Now you need to come in a little bit closer.
I love to get next to you. Hey, it's your favorite couple back again. Here we are with an interesting question at
Yes.
hand.
We have another Matters of the Heart video. Welcome. Please subscribe as well as like our videos and all that good stuff. But let's just get to the topic at hand. So, what was the question?
Can you start over in a relationship?
Yes. It's a very good question for people that are in a space where they're not too sure if their relationship will continue to move forward or if there's any way to revive a relationship. So let me ask you first, what do you think?
Honestly, when I think about this question truthfully, I say no
Okay, why?
because um, when you're starting over with that same person,
Mm-hmm.
I believe there is still residuals of that old relationship still there.
Mm-hmm.
And creatures of habit tend to either bring up those things or revert back to those things that you're supposed to be starting fresh from.
Yeah. I actually agree. When it comes to especially with using the term starting over, there's no way you can start over a relationship simply because there's not going to be any newness. There may be like a renewed uh what would you call it? A commitment, a renewed commitment to being together. But as far as starting all over again, that's, in my opinion, impossible because you guys have already not only created the relationship, but you guys have learned each other, and also have created patterns of how you treat each other. So, not saying that it's not possible to grow from a bad relationship, or if the relationship wasn't all that great, I'm not saying it's not possible to get better. I'm saying is that it's, in my opinion, a little kooky to believe that you will start all over as if everything is a clean slate and everything's a fresh. Because if there was cheating, if there was disrespect, if there all that stuff, those things leave an imprint on you. It's possible to forgive, and maybe even to the point where you understand the space that your partner was in that moment. They didn't mean it because they were doing this or that. But I believe it's better to put a new name for it. Instead of like saying that you're starting over, let's just say that there's a new commitment to learning each other. Let's relearn each other. Because a lot of times when relationships grow apart, it's because of a lack of communication. And when there's a lack of communication, I don't know who my partner is as well as I used to. So I believe that could be a way of looking at those things when trying to renew a relationship. I think that's a better way to say it. Renewing a relationship versus trying to start over. Because attempting to cancel out years or months of interaction and learned behaviors That's not going to happen.
That's easier said than done, literally,
Literally.
because you go into the mindset of saying, hey, we're starting over. But the moment that person does something that they used to do in that old relationship, you bang it, present
Right.
it to their face,
Here we go
and
again.
say, here we go again. I thought you were going to do this differently this time. And it's like, no, I think we must start with establishing who we are first
In a,
in the relationship
or do you mean separately?
and
Because
separately.
sometimes we forget that even though we're in a relationship, we're still two separate people. I need to know how to feed myself and make sure that I am happy so that when I come to the relationship, I'm not trying to leech anything from my partner versus, you know, if you do leech from your partner, that partner's going to become empty and you're full and your partner has nothing else to give.
Right.
And now we're just in another bad state because there's no exchange of emotions and caringness and all that stuff. It's all one sided. So, what was I saying? I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, we're all separate people in a relationship, and we got to be good personally so that we can convey who we are to our partners. When I say that, like if you're having a bad day and you may not even know how to express it, but like, look, I'm having a bad day. Just give me a little space, and I will be better in a second. Your partner hears that and knows not to bring you any randomness because you had a bad day. And then it just makes things easier to move forward. Or even something as simple as, especially us women, unfortunately, with our bodies and estrogen and up and down emotions and things like that, sometimes we just don't even have the words to be like, yeah, I just don't feel right. I don't quite know what it is, but I don't feel right. Just give me some time. And that is very much so still helpful. How do you feel like that's helpful?
I believe that opens up those channels of communication for you to get a better understanding of who you're entering this new relationship with.
Mm.
Furthermore, I think also you have to reevaluate who you are and who you want to be in that relationship as a new stepping point as you begin to take those steps forward in the relationship. You can no longer bring that old person to the new relationship because it's just bringing old baggage into something new.
And that just also goes into the vein of should we get into relationships with our exes? I always say no because they're exes for a reason. Not only are they exes for a reason, it's like when you get back together, it's going to be the same thing because they've learned how to deal with you in a specific way. And that specific way was not a good one because y'all weren't together anymore. And also, especially as time goes by, you're certainly not going to be the same person you were 2 to 3 years ago, no matter
Absolutely.
what age you are. We all continue to grow, but then again, there's some people that don't grow. Some
No, they
people that
don't.
stay in the same space, and that's still yet a problem because if I'm growing and becoming a better person, finding out more about myself, and you're still continuing to stay in the same spaces all your life, and there's no forward movement, like that's not going to work at all. So yeah.
But I guess I gotta ask that question on top of this overarching question that we have here. If you're that type of person that hasn't had much change in your life and doesn't feel like you're moving forward, but everybody else around you are moving forward,
Hmm.
are you still yet moving forward?
No.
Because those people around you are affecting your ecosystem. They're leaving little bits and pieces of them
Yeah.
behind, and it's taking longer than everybody else for you to absorb it and take the impact of those things.
What are you saying?
What
saying a
I'm
lot of words.
saying here is, I believe that person isn't truly stuck. They're just slower to develop.
Yeah, and okay, it's okay if you're slower to develop. But the thing is if you're with somebody that is moving, that person is not going to sit around and wait on you, especially if you're in a relationship. Why would I be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't um, have dreams? Why would I be in a relationship? Because my dreams are big. I have huge dreams. And if I get into a relationship that can't even at least go with me on a dream, if I say I want to have at least one mansion and two other houses, I want to be bi-coastal and have whatever cars I want. If you can't even, like, though you may not be able to see how it's going to happen, if you can't even roll with me and say, you know what, it's possible, we can make it happen. I know you can. You may not know how it's going to happen, but people that are not in that mindset will be like, a mansion. Why would you be in a mansion? Because there are some people that are in a space where I just want to make enough money just to get by, or excuse me, just to be comfortable. Some people want to have an access of money. Some people just want to be comfortable. Is a difference, and you can't mesh with somebody like that.
So essentially, you're saying they're in a state of being unequally yoked.
Yeah, just y'all don't need to be together. If somebody's stagnant in the way that they're thinking, yeah, they may be on their way to a higher level of thinking or thinking better of themselves or the possibilities that they may have. But I'm in the space of moving forward now.
Mm.
And that person that's not necessarily stuck, but on their way eventually, I don't have time to wait on that.
But not everyone is motivated by the same thing.
This is true.
And I believe a component of the communication is finding that way to motivate the unmovable person.
Yeah, so basically, it sounds like we're saying in starting over a relationship, especially in a situation like that, or renewing the relationship, that's the new word that we put on that. No, no, no. Y'all ain't together for a reason. It just is what it is. Um,
Yeah, I
and
think you owe it to yourselves to find out why you're not together. What is that reason?
that is true. That is true. And that's a part of closure, because you don't want to look back and say, man, I wish this could have been, or, it could have been better, or I don't know if that would have happened and this would have happened. But it is great to be able to have the conversation and be like, what happened with us? And then when you have that idea, when you see, like, you know what? So this is why we're not together. I understand. I get it. And there's no need to fantasize of what could have been when there wasn't anything there.
Surely. And
Yeah,
from that, that's where you find your true growth.
absolutely. That's a good way to end that. We appreciate you joining us for Matters of the Heart, talking about renewing a relationship, things of that nature. If you have any questions, if you want to have us to speak or give our opinion on a specific topic, you can always send us. Do we have an email, right?
Yeah, they can. No, it's that.
Oh, you don't have to email us. You can put it in the comments. What am I talking about?
Or put it in the comments.
Go ahead and put it in the comments and let us know what you're thinking and all that good stuff. And what else? Oh, yeah. Just to let you know, if you don't know us, we are a married couple. We've been married currently, I was about to say for 10 years, currently for 9 years, 10 years next year.
Yeah, baby.
And yeah, we're just giving our opinion on different relationship quarries and quandaries. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that's okay. Anywho,
and we've been together a lot longer than the 9 to 10 years of our marriage. So we've gone through several things, such as long distance relationships for 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, before we got married.
So.
But yeah, any questions, just go ahead and let us know in the comments and things of that nature. I think that's it.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us again.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.